right. I don't know if a week of these is a good idea, but I'm never gonna have an excuse to do it again. So here is issue 11 of the Master Edition of the Handbooks, starring Storm. I don't think I've explained it very good lately, but with these, I don't look at the cover much. I don't want to spoil who is in it for me. I like the surprise of finding out with you. Bits like this, when I remove them, I'm not focusing on them. Involuntarily, the first one is always spoiled, but the rest, I mostly don't know. First profile this time is for Ars, the god of war, Hercules man's brother, half-brother. Most people know him from the 15 minutes that Michael Brian Benson was using him, because he thought people might believe that he actually created him. Now this guy, we have actually reviewed his story. He was the monster from Avalon that the Avengers and Dark Knight battled in Avengers 225 and 226. He is on the cover to 226. Dr. Doom was there too, not helping out. Next is Pepsi from Coke and Pepsi. We got Coke yesterday as well. This is a nice quick completion for us. Shame that it's Coke and Pepsi, but we've got the pair now. I'll get out the other profiles I've got at the end, so we can put Coke and Pepsi together. Alright, these are... Do you remember Mutiforce? The team that were made up of the really crappy lineup of the Evil Brotherhood of Evil Muties of Evil, the Jack Quimby Captain America ones with Peepers and Sliver. They rebranded as the Resistance, but the problem is, I don't know which one is which. This is Crucible. I don't know who he was originally. Burner. That would make sense because of the fire. I think it's the one with the white hair. The problem is the second Brotherhood themselves, Mutiforce. They aren't easy to identify before you give them new identities like this. I'll just check now. Yeah, this one's Burner. This one was Burner. I don't know if it's the one with the white hair. White. Yes, it is the one with white hair. Another team we don't complete though. We get Crucible and a Cult. A Cult is Peepers, I think. Not sure if we get Meteorite. I think we get Quill. The rest we don't. One of the best members of the Serpent League of America now, Deathly Adder. The myth is that Deathly Adder was murdered by Scourge to balance the scales. Marky Mark J was often all these characters that he thought were lame, so he went and also executed one of the coolest ones in one of his books, Deathly Adder, co-created by him as well, Marvel 2-for-164. And the picture on his back is from just before he gets murdered. I can never remember this guy's name. He was a member of the Avengers for 7 issues, and then he got smacked so hard by a lava monster that he couldn't be an Avenger anymore. Hydro, the man with hydraulic arms. This villain featured in one of the first episodes of Spider-Man the Animated Series that I saw. Even with that, never really liked Hydro much. Too much of a pale imitation of Sandman. The only comic I've liked with him, and I don't like the end of it anyway, is the Acts of Vegans tie-in one, where Tom Hiddleston gifts him with increased intelligence, and then he fights the Avengers at a bank. Terrible ending when none of it matters though. Wonder if it mentions that in his... No, it doesn't mention it. Unposable Man. One of my favourite things about not reading new Marvel, I stopped in 2012. Fuck me, I stopped 13 years ago. The Marvel Universe has truly moved on from me. But one of my favourite little things is sometimes when you have a drop-off point like me, characters will have unusual last appearances. For me, my Marvel Universe, the last appearance of Impossible Man was in Chow's War, where he was horrifically mutilated and murdered. He will have came back from that, surely. He will have came back, but my Marvel ended in 2012, so he never did come back for me. Fembot, the Bride of Ultron, based on the brain patterns of wasps. Never officially an active Avenger in her original lifetime, but she eventually got there after she was rebuilt. The reverse, it actually points out and lists the C-3PO miniseries, the one set in the far-off future year of 2020. Krona. So far we have gotten our fair share of big cosmic muckety mucks. I thought about last night maybe doing a video about the cosmic hierarchy, starting at the unremarkable human and working up all the way to eternity, affinity and the tribunal, and all the stuff in between. Gods, to elders, to Beyond a Man and Galactus Man. I do have some... I love the cosmic shit when it's done well, but as will be mentioned when we get to Storm, I fucking hate pissing contests. With a lot of the cosmic stuff, there is a type of fan who gets annoyed when the gardener is there with eternity. My attitude is that eternity is so powerful and vast that I would prefer someone like the gardener to deal with things, because any action taken by eternity could disrupt or even obliterate existence. Anyway, next is a character I don't even recognise. Got a feeling this is some Excellent Men bullshit, like one of the Fairyland characters they know, or maybe something from the sideways dimension that Storm rules. I'm not looking at the back to find out. When it's the Excellent Men, I don't much care anymore. It's easier to amputate that limb than keep checking in on it. So he is an Excellent Men character. Multiplication Man, he gets an update later in the series. We saw them both in the unboxing. This is his first profile, his original and classic costume, which I'm not sure if it's on model. Maybe it's something that came about from revisionism, but didn't his face mask actually cover his chin? I should do better to bring them to your attention. There's a few that are out of date. Well, they're all out of date by now. But at the time of release, this was out of date. It even details him joining Extra Factor on his data sheet. So this costume and stuff are no longer correct. Master Chaos, another cosmic player, pretty high up on the chain as well. One half of the Master Chaos and Lord Order double act. They are very much the Ant deck of the cosmic set. Chaos would be Ant, the one with the drinking problem. Order would be Deck, because he is the short one who just does whatever the tall one says. More, one of the Omega Titans. I've brought to your attention teams we don't complete, and the Omega Titans is another one. We don't get them all. There's, I think, one or two missing. And then there's also the Dreaming Omega Titan, which never gets covered here either. And now we have got Wonder Woman from the Justice League. Very important character for that team. Very attractive character too. There is her data. I am sure it is not her data you want to check out though. Odd job. It's neat doing two of these in a row because there are little payoffs like this. We have got, I think, all 2 members of the Death Throes that they do in this series. Unless you count Crosswits. I don't. Summit we have gotten our fair share of is terrible characters. This is Rollerball, one of Spider-Man's sometimes foes, but also very occasionally an ally. Not a fan. Never been a fan. There has never been a good comic or a good story, at least, with Rollerball involved. We went from bad to good very fast. This is Spider-Girl. Spider-Girl 2. This is the Sydney Sweeney version of Spider-Girl.
Here, lads, I bet you would love to have it off with that Sydney Sweeney, wouldn't you?
I, without sarcasm, fully endorse this version of Spider-Girl as the better character. She has a better costume, a better secret identity thing, the better bibliography. She was introduced in Secret Wilds, so a lot of people know her from that. But she was also an Avenger for ages, and then a member of Force Works. And there was no drama or failure on her part as an Avenger. I hate that this Spider-Girl was more or less erased so that Michael Bryan Benson could have back his unsuccessful Spider-Girl. I'll show this here. I quickly showed it before, but I do like the character a lot, so I'll give you an extended chance to pause it and read it if you want to. I don't think you can really read them. They're usually too blurry at this distance. Storm. I could vent and rage here because Storm is emblematic of what I hate about comic books. But instead I'll try and be positive. Storm was being written pretty well at the time this came out. Sheriff Lobo on Uncanny Excellent Men. There's a good 2-parter with her and Fork. I would say maybe I'll review it, but it's the Excellent Men, so I don't really want to. This is actually my favourite Storm costume, but with the notation that I like it in black. There is debate if this costume is white or black or even silver, and the answer is that it's all three. The original intent was lost because subsequent artists and colourists believed it to be white or believed it to be black or believed it to be silver. But in black, it's my favourite look for her. I'll show her profile even though everything that is written on it is probably infuriating. This one is Tana Mojo. They've got similar names and similar faces. Tinkerer. Not much to say there. It's an hard man. Tinkerer. Proletarian from the Soviet Super Soldier Boys. I think we've got a complete set of them now. A profile for Hispanic Tiger. Long since retired as a character. There wasn't much reason that they couldn't have unretired him in the 90s. And that could have saved him from his eventual humiliation. And our final one is another dosage of humiliation. I'll offer you some knowledge you maybe didn't have before though. If Steve Englehart hadn't left West Coast Avengers, he was going to have this character become their arch nemesis and turn out to be Willow's brother. He was also going to have Hawkeye fall in love with Willow and Ultron rape Charlotte Witch. So we are done with this issue, but we're not done with the video. Time to get out the ones I already have. As promised, Coke and Pepsi are together now. Deathly Adder can go on our Serpent League of America. We've got about 9 members now. Our team is Angela Anaconda, Grandmaster Bush, Coppertone, and there is Deathly Adder, Eel, which is not a snake, Porcupine, which is also definitely not a snake, Pea Adder, Rock Lobster, and then Sliver. We also have Sidewinder and Rachel Diamond who can go with the team, but I prefer to maintain their character growth and have them not a part of it. Hydro actually takes us close to completing 2 canonical teams. First is the Frightening Force, featured in Fantastic Force issue 326. Wingless Man, Jamelia Jamil, and then Hydro. The only character we need to complete this squad is Andy Serkis. But that's not all. Hydro also brings us closer to the Insidious Syndicate, the Deadly Foes of Spider-Man. We have Hydro, Rhino Man, Captain Boomerang, Speed McGee, and then also their unofficial extra member, Paralyzer. Much like with Thunderbells, all we need is Mark, whose real name is Abe, to cap this off. We have 3 Avengers in Fembot, Sydney Sweeney Spider-Girl, and this guy, whose name I can never remember. And of these, I am putting Spider-Girl 2 on our team. She never got the reputation she deserved as an Avenger because she was on what was unfairly seen as the B team. But our Avengers are Captain America, he is leading. We've got Dr. Smurf, Falcon Man, Mockingbird, The Flash, one of my favourite Marvel characters, She-Hulks, Spider-Girl 2, and then Thor. I think we'll be entering the territory of dismissing Mockingbird from the lineup soon. Sadly, if we are feeling like a nihilist, we can put Fembot with Ultron. We've got 2 more excellent men with Multiplication Man and Storm. Definitely makes our excellent men team seem viable now. Storm would lead. We have Dr. Smurf again, Cannonballs, Fork, and there is Multiplication Man, Smurf, and Fetish Fuel. We've got a few others like Cables and Magmar, but I don't want to stuff it and make it feel like it has too much excellent force, or too many new Muties members. Proletarian, as alluded to, gives us the complete lineup of the Soviet Super Soldier Boys, Rocket Red, Darkstar, Ursaring, and then him. I think this is our first real, proper team that is complete. Like a team that is in the comics and is more than 2 or 3 people. Wonder Woman can go with the Flash and Green Lantern on the Justice League. So can the Batman that we got yesterday. And there's our 2-person Death Throes team. But I'm going to throw a curveball into this mix, which is something that the Death Throes would probably appreciate. A curveball. Shitshot can be their leader now. Now, let's do my fan fiction story. Say World Attacks 2, Fairyland Attacks, because you all care so much about that. Arse would be there. I am going against the grain here, and having him on the side of the heroes. I think a character like this, when a greater threat comes along, it's a chance to realign them and explore them in a different light. Just because Arse is fighting alongside heroes against a bad guy, it doesn't make him any more of a hero. He is still a violent, warmongering dickhead. I can never remember this guy's name, but he would be there too. Of the new gods, the more notable ones, and the ones with actual history with Thor, they are going to be like his brothers on the battlefield. Speaking of brothers, right at the end, we find out that Thor has another brother, and it is... No, it's not, really not. I would never in a million years do something that trite. We know who Thor's brother is. We know Thor's family. Adding people, unseen family members, is shit. Deathly Adder is on the Serpent League. They are attacking Project Cadmus. And they face the Justice League, which will be led by Wonder Woman in this instance. Spider-Girl 2, she is on our Avengers now, so she's in SeaWorld Attacks 2 by virtue of that. Maybe, I don't know, maybe Balor could be a generic monster that is on Seth's army. So there's another 24 profiles thrown into this pile. This one was okay. There were some interesting characters in this issue. It wasn't as great as yesterday's helping, but we got some alright ones in here. Sydney Sweeney, Spider-Girl 2. That was the highlight of this set. I'll give it a 7 thumbs up.